Street lights are meant to provide illumination and also serve as security checks against vices where they are available. Now, for several years, major roads and streets in Kwara State could not boast of this essential facility, and the implication was dire. Eyewitness brings an account of what the situation currently is as against how it was. Evil thrives in the cover of darkness as security is compromised. For this reason, in many communities, a lot of people conclude whatever activities they're engaged in much earlier to avoid falling prey to night marauders. For a long time, such was the situation in Ilori, the Kwara state capital. Economic activities ended early. According to these residents, the non-existent street lights meant terror for the residents and frequent accidents.
About 7 years ago, when the street lights were working, when we were passing at night, you need not to use your full light when you are driving. But now, when the street lights are not working, they are mere going on the street, the armed robber can easily attack somebody, and it has caused a lot of accidents when the street lights are not working effectively the way they're supposed to be working.
Driving in the night without street lights has posed a hell on earth for we as motorists in the lorry here, particularly in a situation whereby the rains and other natural happenings do normally impair our driving. And besides, it poses a kind of security threat because when you are driving, you can hardly see few meters ahead of you. A lot of hoodlums do capitalize on non-functioning or non-availability of street lights in a lorry to perpetuate evils, extorting money from us as a motorist, or the rest, posing series of threats, all sorts of threats to us as motorists.
Those who couldn't do without driving at night, like the commercial drivers, it took extra efforts from them not to be involved in accidents as a result of poor visibility.
If the street lights are not working, you know, some area will be dark. And most especially the passenger or the pass-by, who will not be able to see that the vehicle are coming. You know, we have some old age people, we have less privileged people. All these people, not only on our own side, but on the side of the passenger. So the incoming vehicle will not be able to see the coming one. These are part of the hazard we are facing.
Policing of crime-prone areas has remained daunting. This too can be made easier when the streets are lit up.
We all know that it's easier for a criminal to, do his crime under the shade of darkness than doing it in the open, because he knows that if he's doing it in the open, the likeliness of him being arrested is 100% than doing it while he's been captured under the street light and the rest of them. So it is a very good thing for street light to be in the town. It enhances the police service delivery of the policemen in the night time.
The state government is not oblivious of the precarious situation the absence of this facility puts them. According to the Director General, Kwara State Public-Private Partnership, some of the constraints are already being reviewed.
We have actually been working on, how to, we call it LUK, Lights of Kwara. Our Lights of Kwara project is divided into two. There is the Street Light project, and there is the independent power project that we are trying to do. The independent power project will slow it down a bit, but we are working earnestly on the street light project. The issue with street light is not to do them, it is actually the operating and maintaining them. Most of the street lights that have been installed in the past, they do not have an O&M component. The O&M component was left with the Ministry of Energy. The Ministry of Energy is incapacitated with the right equipment in order to maintain. So we looked at it, how best can we make this happen? If you notice, most of the street lights that we have are conventional street lights that are running on PHCN. So PHCN, sometimes you may not have lights for throughout the night. So what you find that even if your street lights are functional, if PHCN did not give you lights, there will be no street lights. So some of them, when there are power surges, right, like maybe high voltage, right, some of those bulbs, they are not LEDs. So what you see is that some of those bulbs will burn out. And then you see, I told you about the components of the Ministry of Energy not being well equipped for maintenance. So it takes time for all those things to be done.
The recent signing of a 10-year contract to design, operate and maintain 135 kilometers of streets begins with a first phase covering 77 kilometers. $2,288 poles are to be provided across the state, with the state capital Ilori already benefiting from the arrangement. Several streets such as Murtala Mohammed Way, Asa Dam Road, University of Ilori Road and others are now illuminated.
All those darkness that you are seeing, trust me, over the next in the next 6 to 8 months, the whole place will be lit up, and that is the first phase. Second phase, we will now be going to all the major cities. We'll be in Omara, we'll be in Ofa, we'll be in Lafiagi, we'll be in Patigi, we'll be in all those places. We have done all the measurement. Our total measurement is about 135 kilometers. So the phase 1 is 77 kilometers with 2,888 poles that we are doing right now. Once we do that, which is the pilot, we'll see how effective, how efficient it is, then we'll move to phase 2. Phase 2 will cover all those major cities.
With a change in the night outlook of major streets in Ilori, the security situation has greatly improved, as people who hitherto closed shops early can now afford to stay longer in their business premises. Unlike when there was no street light when he had to close early for fear of being attacked, this shop owner believes it has impacted sales.
My income has increased to an extent because at least I have customers who patronize me at night. People are confident, to come out at night to buy, get something that they need, rather than postpone to the next day. So that's the importance, and that's the benefit I got from it.
Olugbenga before now dreads coming to the market at night to buy foodstuff, as it was usually difficult to have a good examination of what was being purchased. The story is different now.
Then, when the street lights were not in place, so many times we will come to the market, sometimes to see what you are buying, you may have to use your phone touchlight. But, all that is over now. So everyone is happy. It's a win-win situation.
Residents look forward to a drastic reduction in crime and accident rates, which usually were common in the cover of darkness.
The issue of phone snatching, bag snatching will reduce because people cannot see where they are going. So that's an advantage. Then the issue of market, people cannot close very late because there is light everywhere. There's light everywhere. So it's okay.
The economic and security benefits of lighting up the street cannot be overemphasized. It is hoped that this effort to illuminate Kwara is sustained and extended to every corner of the state. This will no doubt keep the lives and property of the people safe.